Nakia Valen here at the Playlist Retreat, and this is the Playlist Retreat podcast, and I'm surrounded by some incredible women. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I know it took a lot to get us together because you're so busy and you're doing so much here, and it's so dope. I'm here with singer-songwriter Amber Navran, singer-songwriter Tiffany Goucher, singer-songwriter MC Mamuna Youssef, aka Moo Fresh,
yeah, that's a
DJ Natasha Diggs. So let's get it started. I just felt like we went through the list of all the artists and the creatives here, and we all noticed actually there weren't many women. So I felt like it was important for us to have a space and really just talk about music and what it's like, and music and womanhood in that intersection. So first and foremost, what has this been like thus far? I know this isn't anyone's first time, but what has this process and the retreat been like for you guys?
It's mind-blowing to me. It's one of the greatest experiences I've ever experienced as a creative in a long time. Yeah, it's my second year, so yeah, I'm happy.
I can tell you feel at home here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
This is my house.
I can tell you was in that pool.
Oh yeah, 3 times a day, I gotta get it right.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just amazing just being in a space with so many people you can learn so much from. Even outside of the actual creating music, just the conversations of like-minded individuals and, just getting a lot of wisdom from, people who are like elders or mentors to me and who've been doing it longer than I have, and just being able to have honest conversations and get really good advice, that doesn't always happen. You're not in a space like that all the time that's where you can be open and vulnerable and honest and really get some valuable feedback, So the conversations, I feel like alone here have been really incredible, as well as the information from guest speakers who have come in. I'm excited about the trainer that came this year. And every year it gets better, because that's such an important part of our existence, is taking care of the creative itself that we don't always deal with. We deal with what we produce, but not the vessel that produces it, So, yeah, every year it gets better, and every year's been an amazing experience. I look forward to it all year long. Yeah. I don't take no gigs during the retreat.
Yeah. You gotta make that time. I love that you talked about that self-care panel that we just listened to, because I was thinking so much about womanhood and self-care. As women, we're expected to balance so much, and I can imagine as women creatives, there's a lot of pressure to be everything, right? Like you got to be on point, but you also got to look good all the time, no matter the circumstance. So, tell me a little bit about what it's like, being a woman in this industry.
It's tough,
but
it's necessary, and I feel like, I feel like that comes with the territory. It's like we always feel like we can fight for a place, but it's like it just makes us more creative, though, I think, and adds so much validity to the music as well too. So I enjoy it. Even though it's hard. I mean, life is hard. What is this, So
I feel like we speak for so many who can't speak for themselves. If you think about how many women wanted to take this path but didn't, either because it was discouraged. A lot of women feel like they have to make a choice between career and family, whether it's husband or child. Recently, I traveled throughout Central America, and I noticed we were doing workshops, bringing awareness about the amounts of femicides that are happening throughout Central America. And the main theme I kept hearing the girls say, I can't do this because my father says I can't, even adult women. So still not really being able to follow their own dreams, especially the ones who wanted to be artists. They felt like it was synonymous with being a whore. You know what I mean? And just, and just having that stop them from pursuing what God's gift to the world. That was really deep, that, so we worked a lot with trying to get past that blockage, that just sometimes, isn't it, because in the industry, yes, it's true that women's bodies are exploited for gain, but that's not what God gave us this gift for, to speak to the masses and to heal people and uplift people, and just kind of showing them that it can be a different way,
I mean, I think it's a time in the universe where the divine feminine is coming to the forefront.
Yes.
It's our role to like as artists and creatives to like, you know, to create that balance. Like even for our male counterparts, it's like so necessary. Like they've been gypped too because you know they haven't been able to express their feminine side or like get in touch with that side.
Be vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so having a feminine presence in these artistic situations is like for the betterment of the whole, you know, like we have to be here in these spaces and, you know, shining that light.
Yeah. I love that you talk about that divine feminine energy and like allowing that vulnerability that is so necessary to create. So necessary. So I have like a two-part question. I guess it's kind of for Amber and Tiffany as well, just in terms of, you know, Mumu, you mentioned breaking down barriers and taboo. So, you know, Amber, you had an EP called Speak Up, and it talked a lot about self-doubt and pushing past that. Women, when we talk about women and the confidence gap, when whatever we're doing that exists. And Tiffany, I love your music. It's so sensual. It just makes you feel like really powerful in your sexuality. But then I was reading up on you and I found out you came from a very religious household. So, and then I'm imagining, you know, how do you go from that to now speaking out proudly about, you know, your sensuality, your sexuality without feeling a sense of shame? So I guess for both of you, like, how do you push past that, those feelings of self-doubt and speak up and be yourself and be proud to be that and forget about the taboos?
Great question,
Yeah.
You can go first.
For me, yeah, I kind of realized that I always felt like I didn't deserve to be where I was. Like I went to school to play jazz saxophone, and I was often like the only girl instrumentalist in the class, and I always felt like, oh, I'm not good enough to be here. But later I'm like, no, that was just in my head, you know, that wasn't true at all. So for me, making the EP was really important. It was empowering just to be like, I can do this by myself. Like I don't need a guy.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of women think that they can't do it, and it's easier than you think it is, you know. And so it's just about like doing it, even though I wasn't sure if I could, and just going for it. Yeah, that was my experience. It was really empowering.
That's awesome.
For me, growing up in a religious home and, you know, me being a queer artist, I went through the whole process of like singing about boys and all that stuff, and I didn't feel like myself. I felt like the dissonance within myself. So I just had to get to a place where I knew, it's like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So once I really started loving on myself too, I was able to create music from a pure place. And I think a lot of it had to do with just starting to love myself rather than shaming myself. Flipping that, making that, you know, reversing that and taking the power back. Really celebrating who I am. You know, I'm not going against who I am. I am who I am. So, just coming to that love, self-love.
What was that defining moment where you're like, you know what, I need to love on myself. I'm done, you know, trying to be someone else or something else? I was like
23 when I came out to my dad, and his reaction made me, he was like, he didn't even really care, and I was just like, what am I tripping about? That's when I realized, I was like,
he was like,
this
I've been
is in
new.
my head, I'm like, I can't carry this anymore, so I let that go, and I was really able to like, just spearhead my whole career, like, where I see myself,
What do you feel, you know, right now we're in a very interesting time with this current administration, and there's a whole conversation about women having agency and control over their bodies. What do you think music and art's role is in the Me Too movement? How have you seen it manifest itself, whether it's with you or with other creatives?
Well, I think we've always had a responsibility before there was a hashtag called Me Too. I feel like we've always had that responsibility. I appreciate that now people are willing to listen. You know, it's been interesting. I mean, there are songs that, you know, I wrote 10 years ago, I can just re-release right now because it's the same conversation, but people are more willing to listen to it now because I guess there's more popular support around it, or maybe it's trending, or, you know, I don't know, maybe people are just finally fed up. I'm not sure what took it over the edge, but I'm happy that it's over the edge and that the conversation is ready to be had. I mean, I did this verse on NPR about being a woman in the industry, and it just was, you know, my feelings. I had no idea that it would be thousands of women and men would reach out to me like, yo, thank you for having that conversation from that perspective, and from a balanced perspective. I was talking to Spawn about this. Feminism is not about doing this without men's support, or about this has nothing to do with you, this is a woman's thing. It's not, because it's just like racism is not, you know,
only people of color.
No, it's not their issue. It's everyone's issue. You know what I mean? So the same thing about bringing equity to gender is everyone's issue. So yeah, it has everything to do with you. It has to do with us working together and honoring what we each bring to the table as valid and important and necessary. So I was really taken aback. It just let me know, like, you know, some things are just about timing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't happen until their proper time. And if you even want to take it to a deeper level, you know, we just had this amazing lunar eclipse that just happened. Maybe the earth is ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the divine feminine to come to, like, you know what you're saying about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the whole earth is ready. And so we are just responding to it. So I'm happy that it's happening. You know, even in terms of conversations that were real and valid, like let's say 10 years ago, girls who are just coming into the industry, they don't even know what we're talking about when we say that. And I'm glad that they don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they can't relate to some of the injustices we faced. You know, it means progress is truly happening, you know. Like what we were talking about earlier, they don't know what it's like to be discriminated against for being pregnant, or to have it written in your contract that you can't get pregnant because you are a product and your body belongs to them, and you have damaged their product by becoming pregnant. Girls just getting signed, they don't even know what that's like. They look like, oh, that's the past. It's like not the distant past, bruh. Like that's pretty recent. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that they don't know what it's like, and so that means, you know, we're making progress.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned listening, and I think with women, that's always been the main thing. Like sometimes we just feel like our male counterparts aren't listening to us, and I think yesterday you were talking about that with your NPR performance and how the man reached out to you and he said, you know, wow, like I actually like decided to ask my wife, is she happy because of your song? Yeah,
he sent me a message saying you saved my marriage.
Yeah.
There was a line where I just said,
can you spit some of it for us?
I think I said, sometimes being a woman is like being black twice. I gotta scream fire instead of rape, and you tell me to act nice. Look pretty, stay slim, don't talk loud. Don't think, don't feel, don't act proud. But if I'm at my lowest, how you 100%? God made woman and man for the balance of it. So will the real men please stand up and defend what God made, signing off with love? And that part about how if I'm at my lowest, you know what I mean? And he said, he asked his wife, like, are you happy? Like, you know, because I guess he was questioning, am I 100%? Because if I can't be 100%, if she's at 20%, you know, then maybe and her response was, no, I'm not. And I haven't been for a long time. And they never even had the conversation. But I mean, but not only did he never ask, but she never spoke up and said, I'm not happy, this hurts, or this is not what I signed up for, or I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like my destiny, you know, is being fulfilled. So that, you know, that again, that's that two-way conversation. It's on two people to say, I feel oppressed, so I feel whatever, and the other person say, hey, are you good? Because I love you and I want you to be good, you know? And that's not just in a relationship setting, that's in any kind of setting where, you know, the balance of life. You can't be great if your counterpart is not great. You know what I'm saying?
Business
Like,
relationship.
business relationships. Absolutely.
You're just talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is to, you know, to ask that question, and you know, we can't be great if the earth ain't great. You know what I'm saying?
They taking the bees.
Listen,
you know, so
everything is connected.
Absolutely. And it's like
energy.
the more we realize that we can work towards coming back into balance with ourselves, with our environments, with our loved ones. And I'm telling you, I had no idea it was gonna take like that. I'm just speaking my truth, you know, things that I've experienced. And I'm like, look, I got something to say. Like, I'm feeling some type of way. And y'all finna hear it today. You know, and for so many people to just say, like, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't quite know how to say it. And a lot of times, because we're upset about something, we've been hurt by something, we'll put it out in a way that can't be received. You get what I'm saying? It can't be received that way. And so we bump up against the wall and there's no progress made. But really being vulnerable enough to share your heart, like, look, this is what my heart, like, I love you.
To speak out.
You know what I mean? But this is also happening. Let's fix this. Let's heal this, you know? I think that's, you know, what was able to happen. It's just, you know, it's a blessing. I'm so grateful for that conversation is moving forward, and it's going to be different for our daughters.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing, that we are these forerunners of our generation that are really standing on the front line, taking the shots.
Yep.
And it's going to be different for the girls that come after us.
Someone did it before us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about a person like, for me, Lauryn Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Lauryn Hill as a kid, a woman who was brown skinned with natural hair and fully clothed. I had never seen that before. You know what I mean? And you couldn't say, oh, she's popping because she's naked. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think of any other woman who didn't have a weave at that time period. You know? And me growing up, my mom ain't allow us to straighten our hair. So
same.
it was like, oh my God, you know, somebody I could really identify when she was doing it at the top of her level. You know what I mean? The top of her craft. You know, who's outdone Miss Education yet? 20 years later, you know? And that was incredible for her to just be able to be authentically her. And it was so real that it stood the test of time, you know?
It's interesting you mentioning, you know, the wife who didn't, you know, say I wasn't happy, and also talking about body. You know, we talked about this last night. We're conditioned, I think, sometimes as women to be silent from a very young age, to be seen and not heard. And that manifests in music now, right? It's all the pressure is on your appearance. Do you feel that way? Like, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on how you look? And have there been situations where you've had to fight back and say, no, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, whether it is the bikini or whether it is a sweatsuit? Like, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. Have you guys ever encountered that and pressure on what your appearance is and what you wear?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely, all the time.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
It's just annoying because it's like, I feel this way and I'm gonna wear this. It shouldn't. What I wear shouldn't determine how you perceive what I'm saying. You know, or I'm speaking real shit.
Yeah.
So I'd rather you just listen and tell me my shirt is this. Or,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't like her because her eyebrows. It's stupid.
Right.
It's so dumb. Like.
Yeah. They're not paying attention to what you say. It's like your eye candy.
Yeah, and you're not even trying to digest it. You just want to nitpick at it.
Yeah.
So it's just like.
But it's also like the more we buy into it, we make it harder for the next generation to be authentic. You know what I mean? So it really is being able to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's not real for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And standing our ground and representing ourselves on the outside the way we feel on the inside, you know, it helps. But I mean, that's definitely there, like, all the time. And I mean, that was like a precedent in the music industry. Is like, you know, we hear all sex sells and, you know, you gotta look like this and you gotta be this size and you gotta be this and you gotta, you know.
So much pressure.
And there's
so much.
It's about the music.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I love fucking being a woman. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Curse, but like, no, I think we get to like do those. We get to be beautiful, or however we want to feel on stage. You know what I mean? Or, you know, we get to dress a certain way that, you know, we can express ourselves through more ways than our music. You know, like, we just have a different presence or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not utilize that in what we do, you know, as well? And it's like, but it doesn't have to be all about that. You know?
and it should be our choice. It should be our,
choice and
you know
how
what I
we
mean?
wanna do it.
Not forced on us.
No, it's like that time is over. That's
so over, and
old,
it's not
such
that
old
deep.
paradigm. It's like, nah, it's just another expression of ourselves, just as music or any the words that come out of our mouth. It's just another what we wear, how we decide to look.
I think even, you know, when you have the two types of feminism, one that's like the stereotypical, like, angry, I don't like men, I'm mad, or then the other stereotypical, I'm a sex goddess, you know what I mean? And when you think
I'll
about
cater to you.
But when you think about women's sexuality, how we present ourselves as sexy, we didn't even come up with what's sexy. Like,
We didn't.
You get what I'm saying?
We haven't defined what
Like
sexy is. to
women
us.
didn't create high heels. We didn't create corsets. Like, all of those things, you know, came about in what, like the 18th century or something like that. Like, we didn't create that stuff. You know,
Can't breathe.
even like you know, I'm thinking about images that you see of women, even like, you know, the poses. I mean, they come from like Betsy Boop, like drawings.
They used to take their ribs out to like make that
like
work.
women never, the thing that we create, that we call sexy, and that we follow, no woman made that. You know what I mean? Like, I loved, and this is interesting, like, I was looking at when Erykah Badu first did the window seat video, and, you know, she got her wig cap on, you know, stretch marks, you know, she just finished nursing her baby breasts, you know what I'm saying? And they banned that video.
They shouldn't.
But Nicki Minaj, when she dropped Anaconda, similar, soon after that wasn't banned though. because it was someone else's idea.
One
of
is for
what,
the male gaze.
Right.
Yo.
They didn't like that she was taking her power back and like I'm walking right down the street with my with my cellulite and my stretch marks and my titties out and my wig cap on. I'm gonna take this off. My hair not done. I didn't gel my edges. Blah blah blah. You get what I'm saying? I ain't got no high heels on, but I'm free and I own myself. And that got banned. I thought that was so interesting. Like you're offended. Not about her being naked, because women are naked all the time. You're offended by her self-autonomy.
And you don't have access to that.
Right, you can't control that.
Because that song Anaconda is about.
You know,
you know,
and it's
what your next
right, and it's prosthetic everything, and that's good. That's not offensive. But if it's natural. And if she owns herself, then that's offensive to you.
Power.
Come on, that already tells you something. It's like she owned her sexuality. Because to me, I'm just like, if I'm not sexy to you the day after I give birth, when I'm laying in bed with my hair messed up and nursing this baby, and then we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Not one thing.
You don't like me for real.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of Janelle Monáe. She has a quote. I'm paraphrasing it, where she says, you know, women aren't here for your consumption. Like, this is if I'm gonna wear what makes me feel sexy. I don't get sexy for you. If you think that looks good, that's a cherry on top, but it's for me. And you know, sometimes sometimes women can't wrap their mind around that at the same time. Now, Natasha, I had a question for you as a DJ, because I have a lot of women DJ friends, and they talk about the pressure with the parents and stuff. But do you ever, especially with the Me Too movement and everything, are you ever conscious of the space that you are creating with your music at parties? Because, you know, women go to parties and talk about being grabbed up on a lot. Like, is that something that you think about when you're picking songs and how you're gonna?
And just in general with music that I want to hear and that I want to put out to people in my environment and stuff, I'm very conscious of like the words, the language, like the vibe, the energy. Like my whole job when I DJ is to like uplift and to heal. Like that's how I see it. You know, it's like I'm here to bring these people together, to like commune, to like come together in this like love vibration type vibe. Like I'm not here for the grabbing and the whatever, you know. So it's such a subconscious thing, but it's like it's so powerful. Like and you know, like I just don't play what I don't like, you know. That's like basically. but I play what I like. And but so if you're gonna be in my space, you're gonna feel that vibe or whatever. But yeah, I'm very conscious of it because, you know, there's a lot of songs that are very demeaning to women and like that have just, you know, we've grown up with and have become popular. They're party jams or whatever. But more and more, I just like have to nix all that out because words are so powerful to me, and it's like powerful. And we are just so trained in our like, you know, to consume it and like, oh, that's nothing, like smack that bitch up. Like who gives a shit?
And we be dancing and like battling with ourselves, like, oh, this is nice, oh, this is not okay,
and shaking our booties and shit, like, I don't know if that's the look really, you know, and it's like, you know, it's a new paradigm. It's a new shift now. Like we have to be like at the forefront of like, you know, because we are in a position of power. We are like way more powerful than anyone wants to let us know. You know, but you know, like there's so many young girls and, you know, DJs or whatever who are looking at what I'm doing. So I'm definitely gonna like, you know, come from my truth, from my heart, and like and what I think needs to be displayed to the next generation, like to uplift people, because the music and the powers that be, they want shit that's going to keep people oppressed, to keep people in this negative state of mind and this low vibration. But if you come to my party, my whole job is to like, it's a Friday night or whatever, I'm going to take all that shit that you experienced throughout the week and heal that. Like, you know, it's like you're going to leave here feeling uplifted and feeling good and like, you know, dancing. Like I think that's such a healing aspect of life, is like dance, you know. So I'm very conscious of it. And I see it like so much, the subconscious effect that it has on others, because you know, we're just it's a training thing, and it's like we have to untrain our brains, you know, to like in order to be free to really, you know.
I love that you brought up, you know, it's intentional, like to keep us down and stuff. Because the more I think about it, insecurity is so profitable. You have to convince people all the time that no, you need this. Like you need this product so you can be better. You need this. So it's definitely perpetuated often. So this is a broad question, but you know, what changes do you feel need to be made in order to have more women at the table? To be here, what do you want to see happen so that can happen?
I want to see women doing things they don't think they can do, and then proving themselves wrong. And not and reaching out to other women for guidance and mentorship and I feel like there's a lot of things stopping us, but sometimes we stop ourselves too.
True. It's true.
I definitely get in my own way. So just like us being here is helping the next because we believe in ourselves enough to be here. So it's like you said, just self-belief. And spreading that around, encouraging women too.
That I actually want to bring that up. I don't know if you guys want to add. Because I know the 3 pillars for the retreat is motivation, inspiration, and collaboration. Let's talk about sisterhood. Like, do you see that? How important is that? How do you manifest that? Like, how?
It's essential. It's so important and beautiful. Like, you know, like to just uplift. I mean, like, we are in a place like where we said, like, you know, now the younger generation aren't going to experience some of the things we experienced 10 years ago, but it's a beautiful thing. And to be able to share whatever our experience has been with them, like, and you know, like I maybe didn't have as many like female mentors. Most of my mentors have been dudes. Like,
me too.
And I've been very, very blessed. And I want to, you know, I don't even want to dog that because like I've been very fortunate. I've had both experiences. You know, we've all had both those experiences, like good and bad. But now being in a position where younger women are looking up to us or you know, wanting to get into that game, and it's a different world now. We have so much that we can share with them, and so much that we can, so they don't have to go through the same stuff that, you know, we might have gone through, and just in being ourselves and speaking our truth, and like that's like the biggest inspiration I think. It's just doing you as much as you can, and like living by example. And like you don't know how much like, you know, your music inspires people, you know, like when they see you just really living your truth and like your authenticity, you know, because they see, you know, you think that they're looking at you seeing that like, oh, you're so amazing, whatever, but really they're seeing a part of themselves within you, like that authentic part of themselves within you. You're just like a mirror for what exists within them already. So it's like they're naturally drawn to that, and it's just it's essential to share.
Sisterhood is in everything.
It is.
It's everything. Especially because I feel like we're taught so much to not trust women. And to not build with women. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized, no, wow, like the best friendships that I've had, they've been my support, are women.
Definitely.
Women. So my final question, I want you guys to finish this sentence. A liberated woman creative in 2018 is... So who wants to start that?
Say that one
A
more time.
liberated woman creative in 2018 is...
In control.
Yes. Agency.
I don't know. I would. To me, it's just, you know, authentic, like, and that can be in any year. You know, being courageous and authentic.
Self-motivated.
Like,
get out of your head.
Yeah,
I'm telling myself that. So
and talking positive to yourself. I realize your self-talk is so important.
Oh my God,
it's so important.
That's a whole nother conversation.
It's
stop it.
Everywhere. I think we're everywhere, and we don't. More and more, we're seeing people, and we're seeing each other, but there's more than we realize. There's women everywhere who are amazing and who aren't getting the recognition or the opportunities they deserve. So
it's true.
And it's not a, you know, the idea that there can only be one, you know, it's like being able to share greatness, the space that is greatness, really being able to share that. And I think it really takes for us to not buy into that idea that there can only be one. I don't think we created it, but we definitely buy into it.
We do.
So being able to be like, nah, we can share the space, we're good.
It's enough for everybody.
You know?
There's so much space.
It definitely is.
The universe to get access to.
And I think when everyone's in their authentic truth, there's like definitely enough space for everyone to like express that truth, you know?
There's enough for everybody to eat.
There really is.
Absolutely. More than enough.
Abundant.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having this conversation
Absolutely.
with me. This is Sophia Ballin here at the Playlist Retreat with Amber, Tiffany, Mumu, and Natasha. Thank you for listening, and this is the Playlist Retreat podcast. Thank you.
Great job.